Here, let's see. Whoa, didn't even realize I was live, but I guess I was live. How's it going, everyone? We are going live, and why are we going live? Mainly because of this right here. And this right here. So I'm just gonna go live real quick. Actually, you know what? Let me end this thing. Let me restart this because I think I was live earlier. Oh no, actually I guess I'm on. I just started it. All right. Well, either way, the main reason why I wanted just to do a quick live event or live broadcast about the smart controller capabilities with the new or with the Mavic Air 2 is because of the fact that it took me a little while to get it all hooked up, and there's definitely a way for me to make a full video of it, and I probably would have done that anyways. But I think it's kind of nice to just gone through the experience of getting everything hooked up, installed, working, and then just kind of talking you guys through my experience on setting it up, some of the things I ran into, and just kind of getting it all out there unedited and just show you or tell you exactly what I was able to do to get it set up. So first and foremost, let's just get into this thing. I don't want this video too long, mainly because of the fact that it's at first it did seem pretty straightforward, but it's a pretty big deal. So if you do have a smart controller, which I was normally using this for my Mavic 2 Pro, Mavic 2 Zoom, also the Phantom 4 Pro uses a smart controller. This is still definitely my favorite piece of tech to use. And if I don't use this, then ideally I would like to use something like an iPad just to have a lot better of an experience as far as more of an immersive experience when I'm using my drones. But having the smart controller, can't emphasize how much easier it is to get up in the air and just get flying. You're not dealing with any cords. You're not dealing with any phone battery. So that, of course, it has a battery in here, but the charge on this thing is pretty good. So here's the thing. It came out this morning, the new smart controller update, firmware update on the smart controller itself came out this morning. So if you do have a smart controller, power it up, and you should see that there's a new firmware that's available to be updated on the smart controller. And that firmware or that update is really the only thing it is there to update is now the ability to use the Mavic Air 2 when you're up there flying. And I will definitely try to get to your comments in a bit, but I do want to just kind of go through this first and talk to you guys through exactly what I was able to do. Because if you do have a smart controller, you're trying to update it, I ran into a couple issues, just a few little hurdles that I had to try to figure out. And once I did, I was like, okay, finally. So I might as well just kind of talk you guys through what my experiences were with it. So basically, if you have a smart controller like this, and if you don't have one, I'll make sure those links are down below in the video description. But if you already have one, if you've been flying one of the other drones, the Mavic 2, the Mavic Pro, then all you have to do is really power this up and you'll see a firmware update on the smart controller. Now, of course, you have to be hooked up to a Wi-Fi network or tether. I'm at home, so once it connects to my Wi-Fi here at home, it'll say, hey, there's an update. Go ahead and update it. However, when I was updating it, it kept erroring out via Wi-Fi. So it was not updating. It would say downloading, and once it downloaded, it'll say, I believe it was, on the download, it would go up to 99%, and then it would just stop. So it kept stopping at 99%. It would not move forward. I leave it there for 10 minutes. It would not move forward. I finally powered it down, did it again, aired out again. For some reason on Wi-Fi, it just would not work. And it's a common thing that I've seen happen before. It's happened multiple times. That's the reason why I've made so many videos on using Dji Assistant app on your desktop. So make sure you guys have that. If you guys don't have that, make sure you guys are downloading it. And that's the reason why I had to download it for here. So if you do have a smart controller, short story, download the latest firmware. If it errors out like it did with me, you're going to need to download the new Dji Assistant app. Well, it's not really new, but you have to download the software onto your laptop. So if you haven't done that already, go to DJI's website. And when you're on DJI's website, just hit the search button, click on or type in smart controller. Once you do that, you'll come up with a page. It'll scroll down a little bit, and smart controller, DJI smart controller is the second one down. click on the link that says downloads, and then you will now see it says softwares and drivers right there. Mac, I'm on a Mac, so Mac version 2.0.14 is the latest one, which is still about a month or so old. Download that one, as well as they have it for Windows. So make sure you download the Assistant app. That's the biggest thing. So once you download the Assistant app, you're going to want to plug in your smart controller to it. So you're just basically going to use this and plug in your smart controller from the USB-C down here to your laptop. It just goes from here to my USB on my laptop. And you're going to go through the Assistant software. And if you guys don't know how to use the Dji Assistant software, I will also leave that link down below. I have a full video walkthrough of using the Assistant software. It's pretty straightforward on there. All you have to do is plug it in. We'll walk you through it. It'll show you what your latest version is or what your current version is on your app. And then it'll say, do you want to update or upgrade your firmware? So all you do is click yes, and then it'll now go through that same process that ideally it would have gone through via Wi-Fi. It'll now go through it on the desktop. It'll download the latest firmware. It'll then transmit and update the software on your DJI Smart Controller. So it'll go through that whole sequence. So make sure that you do, one, have enough battery. You're going to need, quite a fit, over 50%, or I believe it's like they say 20% or something. Make sure this thing's full. Just make sure it's full before it goes, because of the fact that it was a pretty significantly large file. I had a few gigs on here, and then when it was updating, it gave me another error. It says I had insufficient room. So I wasn't exactly sure how big the file was, but if you just know that when you are updating this thing, keep a pretty good amount. Keep a few gigs available on here. I'm not exactly sure how much it took up, but keep a few gigs on here to install that update. Then once that update, once it all got updated, I was like, perfect. This should be good to go. So I powered everything on, powered on my Mavic Air 2, and super excited about that. And then I was like, okay, let's just power it up. And when I did power it up, I launched the DJI Fly app. So when you actually have the update and you have the Fly app on here, I was like, okay, let's just launch the app. Should be good to go. Click linking, or, it should ideally find it, right? Just a lot of assumptions that you're going to think that it should do. But when I launched the DJI Fly app, so here it is right here. So I have the Fly app right here, and I click it. And then I'm like, okay, so let's just wait and see what happens. And it wasn't connecting. I'm like, okay, not a big deal. So it's not connecting. Everything's new. So let's do a relink. So if you have a smart controller, all you have to do is swipe down, or you can actually go here. It'll say connect at the very bottom. It's already linked now, so of course I'm not able to show you. But if you swipe down on the smart controller, there's a button called linking. So if you click that, it'll start making a noise, as you can hear it. And when that linking happens, all you have to do is, when your Mavic Air 2 is powered on, you just have to press and hold that power button on the battery. Press and hold that for 4 seconds, okay? So I did that, and I'm like I just did right now. And it's, let me show you. Actually, hold on 1 second. Okay, so now it's binding, but it wasn't binding earlier, right? So I was like, what is going on? Like, this is how you bind a drone to the remote control. Like, it wasn't binding. Of course, it's bound now because I'll have to do some troubleshooting, but it wasn't binding. So there's a lot of things that I was like, okay, what is going on? And after I stopped, and I'm like, okay, getting frustrated because it should have bound. And I'm like, maybe it works with the DJI Go 4 app now, and they just tricked us, and it works with the 4. So I launched the 4 app. That didn't work. I'm like, okay, what else is left, right? Of course, like most people and myself, I don't read directions, okay? So here's the thing. When you go to the download, and when you download the newest software, in the release notes of the download, if you click on the release notes, it'll say DJI Smart Controller Release Notes 2020 9/22 today. Is that today? It's today. Smart Controller version 1.00.8020. Make sure you also have the latest Fly app, or has all the all the apps that it's compatible with, and then as well as the DJI Assistant. So in here it says, what's new? Added support for the DJI Mavic Air 2 under aircraft management. Mavic Air 2 can now be added and managed. I was like, okay, I don't think I've ever touched that before. So when I went back into my controller, and if you go back out into the main screen right here, and you're not going to be able to see it, but if you have a smart controller, just follow me along. Go to the main screen with all of your menu items, and then click Setting. Okay. When you click Setting on the smart controller, you're now going to see a link 3 down that says Aircraft Management. That was the biggest change right there. So I'll save you guys a lot of trouble with that. You click on Aircraft Management, and there it is. It'll say Add Device. So Mavic Air 2 wasn't on there, but it's on there now. But before, the only thing that was on there, of course, was the Mavic 2 Pro, Mavic 2 Zoom, Mavic 2 Enterprise, Mavic 2 Enterprise Dual, Phantom 4 Pro V2. Now we also have the Mavic Air 2 as one of the options. So in order for it to know that you are trying to connect to the Mavic Air 2, you have to select that aircraft in the aircraft management section, and then it was good to go. So once you select Mavic Air 2, it'll start beeping, and basically what it's doing is telling you, hey, you need to link it now. So as it's beeping here, now with my Mavic Air 2 on, I click and hold that power button for about 4 or 5 seconds. There you go. You guys hear that? There. Now, now it links. There you go. So it'll say, name the aircraft. I just named it, oh, whatever. And I am now linked. That was it. So it was, and just to show you guys, here. I am hooked up with the Mavic Air 2 to the smart controller. I can see my camera. I don't know if you guys can see it, but, oh, there you go. Yeah. So as you can see, it is, oh, wait, no, you can't see it. But it's showing me my, oh, you know why? Because I'm on manual. There you go. Just so you can see, there you go. Okay. So now you can see it's viewing through it and powered up. Yes. Good to go. There it is.
Take off.
Smart controller now compatible with the Mavic Air 2. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Because if you guys don't know, if you guys don't have one already, definitely one of the best investments you can make, mainly because of the fact that, like I said, this is what you need now when you get out into the field. You just have this and this, set it down, powered up, ready to fly. No more cables, no more phones. And yes, I do like this, the Mavic Air 2 remote control. I've grown accustomed to it, mainly because of the fact that I really like this, and the Air 2 controller is kind of like that. It's like that bulky feel, kind of heavier feel. So I do like that. So don't get me wrong as far as the controller goes. But a lot of people like myself that might have already had one or thinking about getting a smart controller, and if you do use the Mavic Air 2 quite a bit in your production, it is definitely one of those, time saving. Time is, the most valuable thing. So saving time to get up in the air is one of the best things I like about it. And it just makes things simple, right? You keep carrying around 2 things. You're not worried about anything else. And that's it, guys. I mean, so a few takeaways, right, is do the update on the controller. If you haven't done that, try doing it through Wi-Fi. If that doesn't work, like myself, it didn't work. It kept airing out. I don't know why. Plug it into Dji Assistant app. If you guys haven't done that already or understand that one, I have a link. Just search on my channel, and I'll also leave a link down below after this of using the Assistant app. But it's really straightforward. You just download it from the website, plug in your smart controller from the bottom here to your laptop. It'll run through the system. It'll say, do you want to update it? Hit update. It'll do the exact same thing. It'll download the new package, update it, and then you should be good to go. The issue I got into was that aircraft management, which I haven't had to do in a long time. I'll be honest with you, I haven't synced up my smart controller to any other device in a while. I think it was like when I tested the Enterprise a long time ago. So I totally forgot about that whole piece. But yeah, so do the aircraft management portion of it. Once you do that, it'll automatically go into linking mode. Link it by listening for that beep on the remote control, press and hold the power button right here for about 4 seconds on the Air 2. It'll then start beeping, and then it should link up right away. And once you do that, now you can enter camera view on the DJI Fly app on your smart controller. And as you guys saw, had no issues there.
Take off.
We're powered up. I just took it outside before this, flew it around a little bit just to make sure there was no, like super glitchy or anything. Flew fine, flew it 500,000 feet away, came back, and then jumped on this live stream just to give you guys a little bit of update. So that's about it. If you guys got value, of course, smash the like button. But at the same time, that's all I'm going to talk about as far as doing that whole sequence goes. I'm going to see if there are any comments on my live stream. So if you guys do have a few comments, I'm not going to stay on long. This is really just to talk about the smart controller. So I do not plan on hanging out here. It was really just to give you guys a quick update on the capabilities, the new update for the smart controller and the Mavic Air 2. So if you guys do have some comments or some questions real quick, make sure you guys put that in here right now. I'll probably stay on here for like another five or 10 minutes and answer a few different questions if you guys want to. I'm not going to have a ton of answers for you if you're going to say like, oh, can it do this? I don't know yet, right? I don't know just yet. I'm going to go out and test this out, so I don't know just yet. No, not 500,000, 500 to 1,000. Yeah. So if you have any questions, let me know. I am going to, like I said, I'm going to test this out a little bit more just to see. I have a couple questions here. Is there how much latency? It flew like the way it normally flies. So I didn't feel like there was latency at all. And, but I definitely will, take this out into a little bit more testing. So, quite a few of you guys in here. I appreciate you guys hanging out this morning. I had to do a couple things for work, and then I just saw there's an update. Wanted to do this update real quick. And like I said, if you guys are getting some value from this one, make sure you guys hit that like button before you head out. I do want to answer if there's any other questions in here. Say what's up to some people here. What's up, Rick? What's up? I'll just go through some friends that are in here. Pete, Tort Photography, Jordan Hendricks, Max, Mavic, Studio Jace. What's going on, guys? David Leo, happy day. Yes, it is. It's a very happy day. We're very happy today. We have a smart controller. How's that? That is awesome. Eric, David, what's up, Kevin? What is up, man? I need to. I'm actually. Hey, Kevin. I'm actually shooting on the A7S III, which is actually pretty good. I'm using the 16-35-2.8 on this one, but I do need to hit you up. I need to check out the Tamron. Yeah, definitely a lot of little buggy stuff. Like I said, until you've kind of done it, I just got frustrated because for me, I'm big on just like user experience stuff, and I'm like, it just should work. I should launch the Fly app, and it just should work. But the biggest thing was getting the firmware updated. That thing was the worst. It kept airing out on Wi-Fi. I have no idea why. It happened to me before. And it kept airing out on Wi-Fi. Plug it into DJI. Every time you guys have a firmware update, always use DJI Assistant. It just seems to always work a lot better. But yeah, pretty frustrating there. Once I got that updated, it did take a little while. The package is actually pretty big. And then the other thing was the aircraft management. Don't forget that one. That was a big deal. Yeah, smart controller, as far as price goes, let me see here. It's been a little while since, I don't know, probably, what is it? Probably $600 or $700. I mean, it's not cheap. So it's not cheap at all. So don't get me wrong. It's not a cheap thing to purchase. Buy now. $750. Yeah, $750. But it's one of those. It's one of those devices where if this is your workhorse machine, like you have a Mavic 2 Pro as well, and you also have a Mavic Air 2, the ability to be able to go from back and forth and use that one controller, yeah, you have to relink it. But if you do fly a lot, if you fly daily, you're definitely going to get the most benefit out of it. If you're just like a once a month flyer, don't waste your money, right? Don't spend the money. I'm not going to tell you guys to buy it. Yeah, it's so great. I mean, if you're a once a month flyer and you're just doing it for fun and not that big of a deal, then don't worry about it. But if you are the type where you are packing this away, weekly, you possibly have some gigs that you have to fly, and time is of an essence, and it's that important, then man, the smart controller definitely is a really good investment. Yeah, what's up, Lon? Yeah, $600 refurbished. I mean, you probably can get a lot of people that started to sell them because they're like, it's not working on the Mavic Air 2 like they promised us. I'm out of here. So yeah, it was kind of funny. Avesta, yeah. What advantages? I mean, like I said, the advantages are speed up in the air. The only disadvantage on the smart controller, and I'm sure everyone will know this, is it runs on Android, and Android just does not run as smooth as iOS. So, yeah, I mean, that's one of the biggest downfalls of it is the fact that you're like, it's on an Android, it's on Android. But it works fine. Like I said, it definitely works fine, and I will I'll do some videos on it just to see. But I just wanted to get this out there because I know a lot of people are excited about it, and I don't want to spend too much time doing over some crazy longer edit that didn't really need it. I just wanted to get you guys those issues that I was having because I know you're going to run into the same issues, and hopefully this video will kind of answer those questions while you're getting it and not get as frustrated as I was this morning. Yeah, loving mine, Lawrence. Yeah, love mine. Having it for 2 months now. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it is really fun. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, just a couple more. Hey, from Germany. What's up? Awesome. Compared to the Mavic Air 2 RC connection range with a smart controller. Yeah, I'll do some of those tests. Like I said earlier, I haven't tested it, like done a full review and done like any distance thing to see if there's latency issues. Once I got it updated after like an hour of being frustrated, I was like, okay, it works. Let's go out and fly it. Flew it around out of this hillside right here, flew it all the way around that, came all the way back. And I'm like, it works. Let's just get some information out there so that you guys know how the roadblocks I was running into, so that hopefully when you guys are updating yours, you can just reference something here that might have answered those questions. So yeah, great tips there, Lon. Yeah, what are some advantages of a smart controller? Right, let's go off of what Lon said. No phone. You have a bright screen. HDMI out right here. So if you have an external monitor that you want to use, or if you're on set, if you have a little bit higher production value or production, and you want to hook up this HDMI out to like a TV, someone else wants to see it. There's a lot of advantages of this thing that that it has. And but the biggest difference, I think, definitely that most people would say is the speed of it. Yeah, resolution on the smart controller, I believe it's the same. Was it 1080p? I believe is the same resolution, and I think it's 1,000 nits. Like I said, it's been a little while. I need to do a little smart controller refresher. It's been a while since I've done it, but it is a 1080p. I think it's 1,000 nits brightness, and OcuSync 2, so you have the full HD transmission all the way down. But it's definitely one of those things that I think a lot of people really enjoy once you fly it for a little bit. So yeah, maybe another 5 minutes, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out this morning, and this was just a really quick live stream just to let you guys know, one, that the smart controller software is out. So make sure you guys, if you have a smart controller, dust it off, power it up, and do the update. Try it on Wi-Fi. If it doesn't work on Wi-Fi, use Dji Assistant. That's always the best bet anyways. Use Dji Assistant. Do the updates. You'll see the Fly app. Launch the Fly app. But before you even do that, go to the settings. Make sure you guys go to the settings on here. Click on aircraft management. That is the aha moment. Add the Mavic Air 2 on there and it'll start linking. Press the button and you should be good to go. Yeah, a tour photography. Yeah, this is pretty good. This is a very exciting thing to hear. We haven't heard anything of Mavic 3. So yeah, super excited. Yeah, Steve. Like, no joke, right? Dust it off. And another thing, I know I brushed over it earlier, but for some odd reason, I had a couple gigs on here, and then when it was downloading and unpackaging, it said insufficient storage. I was like, how big is this thing? So just make sure you have like a few gigs available to do the update. I was trying to look. I don't think the package shows on their download on the release notes. Yeah, it's not even on. Oh, is it on the release notes? It might be. No, it's not. So the size of it is not on the release notes. So I wasn't exactly sure. If I would have known, then I would have tried to make space earlier. But I had a couple gigs available, and it still gave me an error because I didn't have enough space on the smart controller. So I went back in and started deleting all these old random screenshots that I took and recordings, and it worked out. So yeah, some good tips there. Yeah, clear your cache. Clear your cards that are on there. Hey, Jordan, what's going on, man? Yeah, factory reset. Yeah, if you need to, you might have to do factory reset just to do a clean slate on the smart controller if you're still having issues. And maybe try removing the SD card. These are all great tips, guys. So make sure you guys try some of these. Just see what works first. See if you're getting air, and if not, then great on you. That's awesome. If you are, just know it takes up a little bit of time. And if like I said earlier, if you guys have more questions, I will try to make a follow-up. More likely make a follow-up video once I play with this a little bit longer. But smart controller works with the Mavic Air 2. I know it's been weeks and weeks and weeks. I know we did hear from DJI once we got the Mavic Air 2 that it would come out, and that was months ago. But hey, I think everyone forgot about it, and now it's like a big surprise again. So hey, free, nice little surprise from DJI. And there you go, guys. Let me see here. Not many more questions. I will do a little follow up, and with this. So hopefully you guys are. If you guys do have a smart controller, enjoy this week. And enjoy flying this week with it, and let me know. Hit me up on the comments. Let me know if once this goes, and I'll post it, of course. If you guys do have a smart controller and you're flying with it, and you run into some issues, come back and please comment on the video. So just so that people are aware if they're running into any bugs, if there's any other suggestions, any other tips that you guys have. As you guys know, I like just providing tips out there of things that I'm learning as I'm flying. So come back, and if you guys have more of these tips that you guys are also posting here, make sure you guys post that in the comments section of this video. But that's it, guys. Quick video, quick little live stream. Smart controller. Woo! We have smart controller compatibility with the Mavic Air 2. I appreciate you guys hanging out this morning. Wow, I didn't even know there's a couple hundred of you guys in here. But yeah, a couple updates from DJI with the smart controller. And if you have one, do the update, rewatch the video so you guys know the issues I went through, and we should be good to go. I'm excited again, kind of re-excited again to go flying with the Mavic Air 2 as if I wasn't already. But having something like this just kind of, gets the juices flowing again to want to get out there and fly. So that is it for today. Quick little live stream about this update. As always, hey, smash that like button if you guys can. I appreciate you guys coming through. More updates to come. So if you guys do have any ideas, feel free to leave those in the comments section down below. And that is about it for today. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Take care.